the brakes worked better than that thing last time I drove it. Hey friends, Dustin here. You're watching the Life of Lynn channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Today, well, I decided to paint the old square body, and well, I don't want to spend any money on it, and really I just want to get it painted in a day. So we're just gonna quickly do some body work, the most important thing, and do this as quickly as we can. I did pick up a $13 gallon of used hot rod black paint, and it might have been sitting in the garage for a couple of years, so it's probably not any good, but we're gonna go ahead and spray this truck down with it today, touch up some of the body work, and see how it turns out. All right, friends, this is what we're dealing with here. This truck was originally a white Chevrolet in 1979, picked up by a road department who painted it orange, purchased by a guy in the 1980s, the guy that I bought it from, who painted it black. And then from the 1980s on, it just sat outside for 30 years. So it washed the color away in so many spots. The black was clearly a very cheap black, and it got all the way down to where they sanded it down and did some very low quality body work. You know, a Mako paint job kind of thing in the 80s. I'm sure that was probably the deal. Probably was a pretty sharp truck when it was orange or white or black. Looks really interesting the way it is now. I get a lot of looks in this truck, and I've been contemplating leaving it like this with the grays and the whites and the blacks and the oranges especially. You know, it's a Halloween truck, kind of. It's wild. But I'm really just kind of wanting to clean it up a little bit and see how bad the body is. You know, right here, I can tell, I think that's some Bondo, because, you know, pretty much everything on the square body around the fenders is going to look like this, because rust happens on these things. And down here, oh yeah, we got rust down there and up there. Hello, up there. So, as you can see, it's not a perfect truck. Now, to do this thing right, the hood's cracked. It's got the taco bow in it. You basically are just going to be replacing panels, you know. We're going to get new fenders. That's garbage. It's just full of sand and mud. The hood's bent, so you'd have to replace the hood. This door, it's got this going on. I don't know. I don't think these are the factory mirrors. It's got hail. Yeah, it's got hail. And the bed's rusted out too. You know, in these spots. Actually, inside the bed's pretty decent on this truck. But I just use this thing specifically as kind of a daily run around the property and do chores and, you know, take the town every once in a while and that sort of thing. Because it is a long box. You know, you go to Home Depot, you can pick up a load of wood in this. But it is a pretty reliable truck. I got it running pretty good. Rebuilt the carb, did some tuning on it. Four-wheel drive's got nice tires on it. Everything works. So we're just gonna throw some color at this thing today, touch up a couple spots just to make it look a little better, even though I know it won't last. But hey, as long as it lasts a couple years while I'm using this, I'm sure I'll get tired of it and switch to a different truck, because that's the habit I have. So let's get to it with the cheapest garbage I have sitting around the shop and get this thing painted. All right, here's the products I'm going to be using today. These are all left over from other jobs. Everything's been used a little bit at least. We got your Bondo mixing knife. We got some short strand fiberglass filler here. That's gonna be filling our big holes. We're gonna hit it with just a little bit of lightweight body filler and some of the little dips. The grease and wax remover, you gotta have a panel activator for our hot rod black here that we got at a garage sale, and it's probably several years old and bad, so it's probably gonna look like garbage. And of course, a needle grinder and a sander. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start on the bodywork now. That way, while the bodywork's drying, I can go around and take out the lenses, some of the chrome, the mirrors. I'm just gonna tape off this stuff here. And then we're gonna, you know, mask off the windows and start sanding. Knock down some of the stuff, scuff it up a little bit, although it's already, you know, looks like it's already been sanded. So we're halfway there. And then I'm just gonna hit the time lapse, guys, and get to it. Well, it's getting dark. Well, hold on. Well, it is getting dark outside, and although I tried really hard to do this all in one day, even half-assing it is not, just one day is not enough to get it done. So, here we are. Guys, I got it sanded down. Got the whole thing. Got any spot that had bare metal that had rust on it. Got that down to no rust in the bare metal. Then I cleaned that off, and we've of course put a self-etching primer over that metal. So, you know, even though we're half doing the job here, not doing a great paint job, we're still protecting this truck for, you know, the future person that might have it, whether I sell it or give it to one of my kids or it just stays on this property forever. At least it's going to be protected. And that's kind of our main goal here. But as you can see, I got a touch of primer over the spots that were bare metal, which were, it was actually quite a bit. Haven't quite finished the body work yet. I was waiting for all of our fiberglass filler to really set up before I did a little skim coat body filler on top of that. As you can see, I definitely have some open woundage there. But it is filled where there used to be a giant gaping rusty hole. I'll take it. It'll last a couple years that way. And it's going to keep some of the moisture out. Down here actually looks pretty good. Across the back of the truck bed here actually looks pretty decent as well. So not too bad. Used 3 rattle cans of primer just to shoot the spots that needed it. And well, really the whole truck probably needed it. But it's looking pretty good. I'm going to have to quit though. It's getting dark and it's almost December. So that means when it gets dark, it gets cold. And cold and paint are just things that don't mix, and I don't want to do it that bad. So tomorrow is supposed to be pretty decent in the 50s. I'll turn the heater on in the shop, get it warmed up, and we'll go ahead and knock this thing out. I'm going to give it one quick little sand, wipe it down, of course, with our wax and grease remover. And yeah, we're going to spritz our hot rod black on there. 2 coats, call it a day, take the tape off, and drive her into town. Well, it's the next morning, and for everybody that's here for the other content, especially on those 2 things there, maybe some other things that I'm working on, you know, it's a mess. Don't worry about it. Content coming out soon. I'm waiting on some parts for things to finish up some videos. So that's why we're doing this today. Had some free time. Sun's still shining. It's not negative 20 degrees out here yet. So, got to use the nice weather while we can, because, you know, can't paint in the shop in the wintertime. She's just not well insulated enough. I'm going to jump right back into this thing, get some lights on in here, got my torpedo heater on. You know, I'm looking at all the little dents, so I'm not going to worry about them. We're going to touch up a few spots that I was working on, you know. I gotta come back through, grind this out a little more, do some more body filler, and then, you know, finally make that smooth. Now that I got a little bit of primer on it, I can see way more imperfections in it, just because there were so many colors on it that it kind of camouflaged how beat up this truck actually was. So, it's okay. Not too worried about it. This is turning out pretty good back here. And I think we're gonna do a bed liner in it, try to save the bed, you know, keep the rust out of there. And then, oh, it looks like the cold air last night's making my tape peel a little bit. No problems. I'll fix all that before we start painting. But that's the goal today. Got to paint, got a busy day. I got people coming to look at some of the older campers that I have for sale. I'm gonna jump right back into it. You've seen the prep work. I don't know why I was doing so much work on this thing because, well, it's bad. It's covered in dents and, well, you know, it looks horrible. But I was starting to get nitpicky on some of my body work, and I remembered I don't care. So I just stopped doing it. And, you know, it's pretty straight. It's not bad. It's better than a rust hole. But there's no reason to continue making one spot perfect when the truck really just needs all new panels on it. Remember, we're just trying to clean it up a little bit, make it one color, and protect the paint for the next guy. So that's our goal. And I'm getting ready to spray some Hot Rod Black. It's really old, so hopefully it's good. Otherwise, all this work was for nothing. It's a speed coat product. I know nothing about it. 2.8 VOC. That's probably fine. We'll leave the garage door open, so we'll get some, you know, people like the metal flake in theirs. I'll have dirt flake in mine. That'll look fantastic. All right. Let me mix up some paint. Full disclaimer. I don't do body work. I don't do paint work. This is the second time ever I've painted a vehicle, so, you know, do with that what you will. I've got the highest quality Harbor Freight spray gun here. I've got some little, you know, mesh things to catch the chunks, which hopefully there isn't, but you never know. It smells horrible. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a ratio of 5:1 with our panel activator. That should give us like a deep, somewhere between flat and semi-gloss. And yeah, let's see how it sprays. And wish me luck. I can taste the rainbow, but the rainbow's black. Ugh, when you got a beard, your mask doesn't seal as good as it should. Just a FYI there. Hey, look! Our 79 Chevrolet K10 is black now, and I can see every single dent and scratch on it now that it's not 15 different colors, and arguably it looks worse. But it is all one color. I mean, look at all the dents. You just see the hail and the spots I did body work. Just, I mean, it's not completely horrible. From like a football field away, this thing's gonna look cherry. You know, I got a couple runs in there. I was having a hard time with the compressor regulator. It was like, so the paint was doing this and, you know, caused some runs. But it's hardening up already. I'm probably gonna take some of the tape off, back it out in the sun so it kind of bake for the rest of the afternoon here. You know, it doesn't look half bad. And I realize it needed body work. Like the whole thing basically needs to be replaced or spent weeks doing body work on it, but like, it doesn't look that bad. That's still orange. Maybe do a bed liner back there, or just put a camper back there because, you know, camper package. I sprayed some red on the wheels thinking that was going to look cool. That one was white, so it looks pink. I don't really care for it, so, you know, maybe I'll save up some pennies and put some black steel rock crawler wheels on there, and that'll make it look a little bit better. Those wheels look kind of small on a truck like that, don't you guys think? They do look a little small. Maybe we'll fix that. Well, guys, I'm fairly satisfied with that. I'm going to take the tape off and back her out in the sun. And I think that'll be it for this episode. like I said, I got parts on order for a bunch of stuff out there, so there's going to be some awesome future episodes. I know all you RV nerds like me are going to be interested in that, so stick around. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already. And I appreciate you guys for watching today's video. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you in the next video.